Check, 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 check. Yay. It's your boy Rambo Hustle with the Hip Hop Report back after the longest of breaks. No excuses, no bullshit. But, sometimes you got to get right here, you got to get right here, and then we can get right here. Now that we're back, and moving, and now that we're back in action, ready to go, we got a brand new album. The first, I think, exciting, noteworthy album that we've gotten this year from Cordae. Used to be YBN Cordae. He dropped the YBN. You can know him from the YBN Namir crew. And now Cordae is a highly touted and heavily co-signed lyrical rapper compared to those like Nas and AZ and Big L and things like that. So to me, Cordae is what I see on Twitter earlier. It's the hip hop hope, but honestly, I'm kind of, especially where I'm at right now, I'm on track 5. And what I did notice is there's about 5 or 6 features on there, including, but not limited to, Gunna. There's a Stevie Wonder, Freddie Gibbs collaboration, which just sounds wild. Lil Wayne is on it on Sinister, which was one of the first releases, as it should have been, which I love because it really gave me a Millie vibe when Wayne was just ripping through tracks and not really too concerned with hooks and anything. And I thought the Sinister beat in itself laid the groundwork for what was the beginning of the campaign for this album. Now, from a bird's eye view, is Cordae's debut album, co-signed, like I said, by Dre and Alchemist and Nas and anybody you can think of, has already given this kid the green light. Now, as far as features, I know we mentioned a couple already that we had on deck, but in addition to those, you little bitch, what we got? So in addition to Sinister and, like I said, the Freddie Gibbs and Stevie Wonder feature, we have Lil Durk, we have Heck, who I've never heard of before, and we have Eminem on a record called Parables. Now, I can only imagine that that's going to be, let's try to out-rap each other. So I'm really super curious to hear how that sounds, because I think that's going to be a really interesting point of this album to see how that lands. And he ends with Gifted, with features Roddy Ricch, which has been out. Obviously, a great record. Let's see what else we got.
And I analyze the missing pieces, it's written thesis, I can't advise. Improper inner circles, gotta sanitize. I clean house cause I'm only like to vent.
Definitely has a lot of Illmatic kind of memories. Like it's making me reminisce about Illmatic and how Illmatic felt. Not so much the sound, although that does relate on some level, but also, and more importantly, how the artist is representing himself, how he's bringing himself to light, how he's bringing himself to his audience for the first time and saying, this is who I am. I mean, the first 5, 6 records is not a single feature. It's pretty much him telling a story and tapping into different levels, into different dimensions of who Cordae is. Is it ever enough? What do you want? It's a great question. It's never enough time. And that's a fact. Very grown-up vibes. And this is Want For Me from the Cordae album. That is track number 5. That's where we're at. And the next one is the first feature called Today. Ironically, Gunna's album also dropped today, so make sure you go check that out. We'll talk about that later. Gunna's got some interesting beat productions. I think he's got a good grasp on the trap, but futuristic sound.
Get that shit out of the lane. Come on, cause you ain't gotta worry, I'ma find a way. Shit gon' line in place. Hot like the Porsche, my mama say.
I like that he didn't do he didn't have Gunna do the hook, because I think that's kind of what Gunna's known for. So. Now, I will say one thing that You know, even on the Gunna album, he's got a Drake feature on the record. I forgot what the name of that record is, but Gunna's got Drake on the album, and I think honestly, I think the ball was dropped on this record. I think Drake doesn't come in until the late second half of the record. And honestly, I mean, as much as I don't know, personally, I think you need to start with give Drake a good intro pocket, or let him open up with a verse without the beat. Let that beat come in and build up to the hook. I mean, if you're gonna do a Drake feature, man, it's too much money. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, if Gunna's paying for it, if the label's paying for it, but I think it's too much money to drop the ball on a feature and not have it be effective or efficient or something that it actually has accessibility to be played. So I don't know. I think the Gunna Drake collaboration kind of fell flat, and I think this one in a lot of ways, in the reverse way, you're looking for Gunna. You know, you just spent 5 records listening to Cordae spit, right? So I think after like 5 records of Cordae spitting, you're kind of ready for that new sound to come in, and it doesn't come in until the second half of the record, which I think slows it down and kind of loses its appeal a little bit. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, the Hip Hop Report playlist.
Suicide down, sitting on 24. I was trying to find a job, shit, why bother? Being broken, make you try harder. Sit down, be sucking on my cucumber. I ain't doing too bad for a newcomer.
I like that he's taking on a lot of the hooks. He's actually developing his tones and his melodies really well. You know, for an artist that's just really coming out now. And, you know, again, a lot like J. Cole, being able to have your audience accept you doing melodies and obviously the bars, man, that's a win-win. It's always going to be, the winning recipe is always going to be the same in hip-hop. Good storytelling, good rhymes, good bars, and authenticity. That will always generate longevity in the game. Nobody wants to co-sign or collaborate with one-hit wonders. You know what I mean? They will and they do, but they don't want to. Not anybody authentic, anyways.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature.
This shit's so hard.
Ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you.
See, you know what I mean? Like that's how you come in a record, even with Lil Wayne on it, and you take charge of that record, and then you open it up. It's perfect.
Let's reflect times. I try to collect minds from complex rhymes. And by the way, shout out to the nine. Go and shut the fuck up. Just let me talk, nigga. I'm a time bomb that's waiting to go off, nigga. Quite nuclear. Amazing what fame can do to you. Too peculiar. Although I'm truly a...
But definitely one of the records that made me take time to listen and say, we got to pay attention to this.
And I'm not sure where my heart
It's Lil Durk and her music.
I know how far regret it. Told you once, tell you twice.
That's,
Did it. But I can't waste no time.
see, that's Cordae.
Use my thoughts as leverage. Hey, I've been traveling around these cross.
That's good range, man. I didn't know he had that kind of range to be able to come in, especially, you know, to be on a record with Lil Durk and with her music that are both heavy melody-based artists, and to take charge of that and actually take the lead doing a melody. Still, man, why they always leave Lil Durk for the end of the song? They don't ever want Lil Durk to get no shine. No, they never lead the songs with Lil Durk. They always leave the Lil Durk for the last end of the song. You know what I mean? It's a damn shame. Stevie Wonder and Freddie Gibbs, dog. That's crazy. Again. Man, I'm really impressed with the confidence and the You know, because when you collaborate with somebody, when you bring somebody into a record, you have a tendency to say, well, they do this, so let's give them that role, because obviously that's what they do and that's where they're going to shine based on what their audience is used to. And man, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like what I'm saying is, he's on a record with Freddie Gibbs and Stevie Wonder, and instead of letting them take the lead and say, boom, I'm going to take the lead, I'm going to show that I can set it off on my record, and I don't need that. I may want the feature, but I don't need the feature. Indiana. It's not his best verse I've heard, to be honest with you. He got such a cool voice, though. This is the one that's gonna like let us know where we're at. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's seen some shit within my lifetime. My light shine bright. Protect your energy from poison when a python strike. My first mistake was doing robberies on Nikon bikes. I'm getting like very renegade. Like the Biggie feature, the Jay-Z feature. I'm getting that bounce off this beat. I can tell you by the time I had a penny in a plan. I can tell you shit, but you won't understand. I've seen some shit within my lifetime. At one time, I still remember just how bad I used to want 5 mics. My biggest dream was just to make it in the unsigned hype. It's so hard for me to fathom this was once my life. Should've made you wanna cop out and bleed it. Fuck me, thanks to Kashi. Spit on that bitch like big milk. I don't hate the flow. I hate that he always has to use it. And why is everything so high-pitched and nasally? I think that's my issue with M. It's like, man, we want to hear the angry, like, pronounce the fuck out of those, like, fucks. You know what I mean? Pronounce the fuck out of those fucks. He still keeps on giving me refills. Cinematic, militant, indiscriminately. Women and men and little kids, senior citizens. That's the reason I'm my Louis Vuitton. Warrior than evil on. Yeah, this rap shit is something that you'll never see. Like, I like that flow right there. That flow has it's distinct, but still, it's like no damn weight on his voice. Nobody's doubting Eminem's ability to fucking spit. And that's my issue with it. It's that we're always trying to prove. It's like he rapped fast, so like automatically it has to be good. Next. I like this joint. I do. I like that joint, and I'm super impressed with Cordae's ability to not just rap well, but also hit melodies. I'm assuming he's writing a lot of these melodies, so the creation of the melodies, and honestly, his willingness to take on the early load on a lot of these records with major hit like power player fucking, you know, big game hitter artists that are brought in to execute a massive waves of fans to come to your music. And he's got a bunch of them on this project. I mean, the Stevie Wonder and Freddie Gibbs, you gotta be kidding me. And then, you know, and then the Wayne feature, which I think is right in pocket with where Wayne is right now and where he needs to be. And it really brings the two worlds. Because to me, that's the key. A lot of this music, for it not to sound like, I guess, struggle rap. So the beats have to still hit, and the beats have to be kind of like upbeat and have like a good energy to them, even though the artist may be spitting some real shit and talking about problems or downtimes, etc. The beats have to still have life. So you know, what you can't do is come out with boring, dark, booty, like low energy beats. That's what we can't use, and he does a great job picking out beats. I think the only record that really didn't hit where I thought it was going to was the Gunna record today, and that's because Gunna came in really late. Like I said, we had just spent so much time with it. But I think if you listen to this project, it's not that long, and within the first 5 or 6 records, you have a good grasp of who this kid is and his story and what he wants to convey to you. So then, by the time you actually get into the features, you're ready to hear something more creative. And I think at that point is when they start actually bringing in a lot more of his not attempts, because he executed them well, but a lot of his efforts on the melody and the singing side, which I think if you're familiar with his music, you're probably only familiar with the fact that, oh, he's got bars, like he can spit. I think the back end of this album will show you that he can do a lot more than that, and that his upside is actually a lot higher than I thought initially, because, at the end of the day, a rapper can only rap, but a rapper that can sing can do anything he wants. And I think that's a good place to close out, guys. Again, welcome back, and I appreciate the ones that are still here listening and watching and engaging and trying to, well, you know what, I'll be honest with you, I learned a lot in the past few years about what we need to be doing on this channel and how we need to be engaging and how we need to communicate as a community, with the concept of actually becoming a community in the first place. So, without dragging you guys down with a bunch of extra bullshit and talk, you guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. I have all my intentions to stay up to date and to keep hitting you guys with good quality subjective perspectives that the rest of the hip-hop media just aren't going to give you, because honestly most of them are too caught up bullshitting with clickbait and trying to turn articles that are supposed to be private and dry snitching for an article and for clicks. So don't fall for it. Stay true, stay authentic. Hip-hop